guy with elf ears that came out.
Hmm.
They're not elves, the Webarians.
What he said. Oh, this is
Yeah.
kind of cool. They've got like a full-on castle in this place and shit.
Building castles in the sky. Hi, hi.
Right, I gotta put that song on now.
Yes. Surrender to temptation. Brought upon by me. And my bullshit.
You can pull the fuck out now? Go back, I want to be monkey. Wait, you can put a fucking gun on the dog? Oh, bro. I'm so invested in this already.
Meow. God, it feels weird opening the game, seeing there's combat, and opening one sheet, and that's it.
Is there not two? Because there's not two. There's the monkey and the guy.
There's the guy that created the monkey.
I mean, but
Because
that's...
isn't the guy outside with Goldie?
Yes, but that's dependent on what she's gonna do.
So Goldie's like,
can
oh hi, what
guarantee
you doing?
She's
It's like,
gonna shoot him.
I like your mask. I like
What
that.
the-
Almost guarantee you she's gonna shoot him.
Yeah, I can imagine. Kind of expect it.
So I started blasting.
So I started shooting.
Oh wait, they put this scene on fucking YouTube. I can watch this now and repeat. Lovely. Anyone seen Spider-Man No Way Home?
Nope.
Never mind then. I won't spoil it.
Go for grey nails or black nails. I'll go for grey. Let's change it up.
Jump, jump, jump. Everybody jump.
No.
No. Fine. It's not like I'm God or anything. God.
Why is God telling me to jump?
It's called a
Usually
leap of
God's
faith.
telling me the opposite.
This ain't Assassin's Creed, mother.
It could be.
Okay.
Cannot tell if that was a poo or a sound of a poo.
It's both. I'm just filled with happiness and nostalgia watching this.
What, Puss in Boots?
No, the 3 Spider-Mans.
Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, boys. The Spider Guys.
Spider guy. Spider guy.
He's a dude.
He wears
Spider.
a suit. Spider Guy. Spider Guy. This is all you're getting out of this song. Goodbye.
Beautiful.
Thank you. I know.
Top 10.
I know.
Christmas #1 next year. I can see it now.
Look out, here comes the Spider Guy.
Like Zoinks, man.
Like Zoink Scoop.
What are we gonna do?
Oh yeah, what time's Mozzie getting here? Because he said he'd be a bit late.
Yeah, I don't know. Mozzie's the wild card at the party in that regard.
Ah.
You never know what he's going to do and when or who.
Who he's gonna do?
I didn't say anything.
You literally said you don't know when he's gonna do or who he's gonna do.
Damn it. Note to self. They're listening. Hello.
That's literally the point.
Note to self. Is being recognised
Oh,
and adored
boy.
somewhat.
Yeah.
You would hate my dinner.
Why?
I've got rice with barbecue sauce on it, right? I've got. Are you okay?
He's dying already.
I'm not finished yet. With onion rings.
Oh, it gets worse.
With mayonnaise on it, and mix a little bit with the rice, and. I
Wait,
like
wait.
sauce.
You're fucking putting sauce on rice?
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with sauce on rice.
No, but it
okay?
just doesn't.
I've not finished
It
yet.
just
On the sauce.
And then
I
coleslaw
swear to God,
on the rice
Oh my God. Right.
How much
with
cheese?
barbecue
Okay.
chicken and a corn on cob.
All right, I'm gonna put this out there now. There is nothing wrong with some sauce and rice.
No.
I'm gonna
So
send you
I
this. As a...
swear to fucking God, if you ever give me rice that's got barbecue sauce in it or mayonnaise, I'll backhand you like
I
Sharia
love
law.
mayonnaise though. I have mayonnaise with every dinner. I make a point of it.
You have a problem.
Listen, right? I'll accept the barbecue chicken wings, the rice, and onion rings. That's a lovely meal. Why you got to put sauce on everything, bro?
Coleslaw. Coleslaw as well. I love coleslaw.
Yeah, innit? The coleslaw, yeah, that's a
Coleslaw's
great meal.
good.
But don't touch them. Like, you put them together
Ollie,
as you
I'll
want
send you a
them.
picture.
No, I don't want to look at it. No, I don't want to.
Look at it.
All we'll
No,
hear
I'm not opening it.
in the middle of the game, all we'll hear is.
It's on Snapchat. I'm not opening it. I'm not
No,
opening
it's on Discord.
it. I'm not opening it. I'm
And
deleting
you're gonna have to. You're gonna have to
deleting
look
it.
at it.
I'm deleting
You
it.
can't.
I'm
You can't
deleting
delete it from Discord.
It's grim. Delete it.
No.
Delete it. Delete it. We're breaking up. That's it. I'm putting out the ultimate.
I don't appreciate this tone towards my food.
You didn't even say there's corn on the cob, bro.
I did.
You didn't. You said coleslaw.
I did the corn cob in the coleslaw. No, in the mayo.
Oh my God. Where's the rice? It's not even there.
The rice is there. It's essentially coleslaw.
There's like 2 bits of rice.
two singular grains.
It's like there's rice
I
in
knew
there.
you wouldn't like it.
So this is an insult to my ancestors, bro. You don't understand how much Iranians
My mum
love
told me it
rice.
was a southern dish.
What southern where? In fucking hell? How far south you going?
It's a Coventry dish. There you go. Does it
that
make
answers
sense
fucking
now?
everything, doesn't it? Then yeah, you fucking backwards, honky donk hillbilly motherfuckers disrespecting my rights like that.
Honky donk.
If it makes you feel any better, people don't really like Coventry and Birmingham either, so.
One of
Please don't
these
associate
things
me
are
with
not
Birmingham.
like the others.
Birmingham, like
It's
Birmingham,
fucking Birmingham.
Birmingham. You see
Birmingham.
Peaky Blinders?
I don't,
It's me
think
on a night out.
I don't think I ever hear any Brummies that sound like that.
Yeah, no, but that's what you sound like to the rest of us.
True. That is kind of what my brother sounds like.
So if the onion rings don't even look properly cooked, no offense, it ain't crisp.
I don't want them crisp. I want
You
them
don't want crispy
soft.
onion rings?
I want them straight from the onion. I'd bite into an onion.
What?
Eat it like an apple.
Okay, look.
People
Crispy
did that
onion
on
rings,
YouTube.
Look,
Mm.
I'm not gonna say I get it. I really don't. And you have your choices. There's not many things in this world that I would say no to, or that someone should change their opinions on. But, you know, all I'll say
This
is,
is one of them.
you know, I'm on the fence. I'm struggling here. I'm really struggling here.
Right. Here's what you have to do, okay? For one, these aren't even barbecue chicken wings. These are just chicken wings that you've just
No,
squirted
it's not
barbecue
even
sauce.
wings. They're just pieces of chicken.
It's just pieces of chicken you put barbecue on. At least put the fuckers in a bowl with the sauce and toss them on a fucker. Then you get some nice
Nah.
bits of barbecue chicken. Two, I'll accept the mayonnaise with onion rings. I'll accept that. That's fine. That's no okay. That's not a problem. That's all fine. However, the mayonnaise is touching the rice, first of all.
Yeah.
Second of
I've still
all,
got a
It's
judge.
so weird.
you've just squirted barbecue sauce on rice like it's ketchup on chips.
But what do you put on plain rice?
Nothing. I
Yeah,
love rice.
it's perfect.
Wait,
Rice
sweet
as
chili
it is.
sauce is actually quite good on rice.
Oh,
I put.
to be fair, I don't have any.
Okonomi sauce.
I don't have any
Put what on?
pictures at the moment, but there is a soup that goes so well with rice. There's all soups, just
I
well,
love soup.
most
Yeah,
soups.
there's thing,
like-
there are things which are okay with rice.
Just-
Barbecue sauce.
Chicken rice soup is better than chicken noodle soup. That's what I used to have when I was younger. When I was dull.
chicken noodle.
Chicken soup, but instead of
And then the
noodles, it was
coleslaw
rice.
as well, bro. The coleslaw is just on top of the rice.
I love how this isn't even the game anymore. It's literally just we have to discuss about how terrible her
Just
tastes
come
are and give
on.
her better alternatives. This is true
I'm not gonna
friendship.
lie, so if you ever disrespect rice like this when we're living in the same house, like in this year, I will backhand you like Sharia law is in effect. This is an insult to my ancestors.
I'm just spicing things up, like.
That isn't. No, it isn't. It's mayonnaise. There's no spice. Yeah, first of all,
What about piri piri mayonnaise? Would that be better?
Yeah.
no, because that's just the white man's attempt at some spice.
What about sriracha mayonnaise?
No, that's just again the white man's attempt at spice. Put some Tabasco on it, then we'll talk. I like
don't have
Tabasco.
Tabasco in my house.
I like Tabasco. Tabasco is like 100% Queen Vic's, like shit. I don't care. Tabasco's nice.
But sriracha's not okay?
It's not bad. It's not spicy, but it's nice.
God, what a weird fucking day.
This is why you call us late, let's be honest.
I mean, when you're right, you're right.
Oh, you could have toasted them onion rings just a touch more.
No, I like them soft.
Put it in here. Put
No.
the picture in here. I'll put the picture in here. I've got it open on another monitor.
food gonna go through to your
I was gonna say I've deleted it, so.
I've got it
Goldie's
here. I'm
gonna
putting it
order
in here.
stuffed
Fuck it.
onion rings.
I've got it here. Fuck it. I'm putting it in.
Don't out me like this.
People need to see stuff.
Don't do that.
The people
No.
need to see.
You can't know how weird I am.
There you go. You've already done
No. You revealed my leggings, my pajama bottoms.
Your apple bottom jeans.
boots with the fur. Listen here, Mickey Mouse. Pack it in. We're looking at the food.
It's good.
It took me a minute to figure out where the rice was. I'm not gonna lie. It did take me a bit.
Coleslaw on both sides, or is the other side mayonnaise?
No,
just
the left
mayonnaise.
is mayonnaise.
I have like so much mayonnaise that
The left is pure mayo.
just pure
Oh.
mayo.
Wow,
You see what I mean? When you see it, it's different.
that's a lot of mayo.
Oh lord.
I've actually nearly eaten all the mayo. I haven't even got through all my onion rings.
Yeah,
If you love
no.
sauce.
I like
I love-
garlic mayo.
See, there are bits of that I can be like, yeah, that's good, but it's the bits that don't have sauce where they shouldn't be. Like, I'm not an artiste
enjoying it.
with a plate,
Mm.
but I will say it's weird that the you've got like two sides of pure white, and then you've got the pale white, which is covered in brown.
It's a lot of white.
It's yeah. I was gonna say it's a mildly colourful, but then just all the white in the middle, which feels very much like the real world. You know,
Bro.
Yeah, your dinner is actually just a
the separation.
opinion on the cultures of the world.
Got some yellow in there. Got some white.
Spatterings of brown here and there. But even then the white has taken over brown culture somewhat because they're like, no, fuck you.
Explains why the white is getting over the caramel. Like, it's over that little chicken, it's over the onion rings. Dilute the fucker out.
Oh, you gotta try it. You're gonna try this.
I'm not trying it. I'm not. If you
You
put
are.
barbecue sauce on rice, I will not touch it. It's just disrespectful.
But what if
Oh,
it's really high
oh,
quality
man.
barbecue sauce?
Rice.
I don't care. It's disrespectful.
For the sake of sanity, and so we can maybe get the game, everybody roll a d20 for the recap.
I've lost my ability to read numbers.
Mayonnaise.
Does that work? Ooh.
So it's potentially me. Depends on what Mozzie rolls.
Well, we've got to wait for him either way.
Why is there no turn order?
There is. It's just
This
because
is a new map.
yeah.
We're on a different map, my friend.
But don't worry, I'll let you know who, what, when. If you want to know specifically who is next after the current player, then if I don't say it for some reason, I'll tell you anyway. But at the minute, Savras, Scrap, Gideon, other person, Goldie, Lilith, and the Yeti boy.
Heard
My
the
Yeti
girl,
friend.
You say friend, we tried kicking your head.
But we had a moment before we went crazy. We saw eye to eye for like a fifth of a second.
Oh wait, so I forgot I had this picture of you.
What do you mean, what picture of me?
I have a picture from where we went out and got food. Yeah, I was looking through my pictures to see if I can find like a picture of good food to try and unsettle this. And there's a picture I took of you and me, and you having a burger, and you've got 4 packets of fucking mayonnaise next to you.
That's just a normal. That's not even enough.
We're out and about. I'll send it to you. Like we're out and about, and we've got all this food in front of us, and I'm like, oh, what a scran! And you're just there with 4 packets of mayo next to your burger.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm gonna plaster this bitch.
I
Yeah.
was about to say there doesn't look to be like a lot of sauce on the burger, so
Sauce.
I mean by my standard.
Oh yeah, by your standards, there's not enough sauce in fucking God knows what. Fucking spaghetti bolognese, there ain't enough sauce.
There's no sauce in the world.
You'll be there looking at Niagara Falls going, bit dry here. Bit dry.
Just because I think Mosey might take a minute. If he's not here by about past, maybe 35, I will try and check up with him properly about who what, just in case. Otherwise, that might be session, because I don't want to ruin it unless he says otherwise. But for the time being, anyway, we are missing a person on the recap dice?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
Mozzie.
Oh, sorry, yeah, no, I was just, I noticed you had text and then a dice. I'm an idiot. And yes, you are more than welcome to the
nice.
not casting thing. So yeah, for the time being, Gideon, you get to do the recap.
Oh, good heavens, boy.
Good heavens.
Right, let's have a recap then what we got. So, we woke up in a boat, decided, yeah, you know what, seafaring ain't for us, to be honest, fella, I'm gonna pack that shit in. So, we fobbed it off. We sent in the crazy vampire lady to be the face of the party, because we kind of want somebody that knows how to speak well, but we don't want everybody to be like, oh, you're really friendly, I'm gonna call on you a lot, and she kind of gives that vibe.
So,
we'll send
vampire.
Yeah, so we'll send her in. She knows words with more than 4 syllables, and, you know, it's alright. Nobody will actually try to follow her. So we sent her in. She basically said, hey, look, boss man, kind of want to keep that extra gold. No dice, see you in a bit. We pied that off. But on the way out, there was a hole behind a bunch of crates that our sparkly barbarian decided to look at, because he noticed something moving and was like, ooh, any holes of gold. So he went to have a look. The problem is, he couldn't fit. So the vampire took a look. Now, we were expecting something. We weren't expecting this. There was a fox with a gem. But it turns out, this fox could talk. And the fox was actually someone called Bitsuko. Fresh out of an anime.
Yep.
Bit of a weird bitch. It didn't really give us a reason to follow her, but whatever. Vampire lady decided to go, you know what, I'm a keeper. Dragged her out. We all thought she was crazy for a bit. I looked at the gem, started talking to me. Almost blew its fucking head off. Then we were like, you know what, let's pack this in, go somewhere, find out what's happening, because apparently you're hiding. So we wandered off to a shithole. Brought the fox with us for some god knows what reason. Fox turns into lady. Barbarian kind of just jaw hits the floor, like, oh. And we have a little bit of a chat with her. We all have different colours now whenever we hold this gem. Apparently it reads our personalities and everybody has a different colour. Because why the fuck not? But apparently the fox lady does not like goalie. Wonder why.
But she doesn't like me?
No, you scare her.
Do I?
No,
It
wait.
was Lilith.
No, it was Lilith. No mind.
I was gonna say, what? Did I miss something?
Yeah, no, sorry. It's Lilith that's scared. Wonder why. There we go.
Hi, Mozzie.
Hi. Sorry.
Hello, we're currently doing a recap. We've basically gone from boat, crazy fox lady makes Lilith look crazy, Lilith decides to drag crazy fox lady to the middle of nowhere with the rest of us so she can turn into actual lady instead of fox, and we find out that Lilith is not crazy, when in fact she is actually crazy, but not this kind of crazy, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know it's thing.
Now you're up to speed.
And then
so yeah.
monkey.
Yes, then we'll move on to this bit. So, we hear some banging, some shit's going on. Mini-Me has a look, same with Jinx, and they find out there's some Yeti, Monkey Man, King Kong knockoff knocking about. So we're like, tell you what, let's go have a goose. So we have a goose, sneak around past the guards, make our way in. Goldie decides to have a little bit of a flirt with a man who's not interested, but seems kind of interested. It's very weird. But she wanders off with him. They go for a nice little moonlit dinner or something. Also, that's what the rest of the party thinks. We actually have no clue what's happened to her. She's kind of just given somebody a flutter of the eyes and wandered off. Upstairs, we've got our ambassador, Lilith, trying to make friends with Monkey. The barbarian is kind of sat there watching, waiting to break the treaty with the monkey and punch it in the face. And me and Scrap have decided to pretend to be construction workers with, what the fuck was the guy's name now? Councilman Jefferson with a CX-47 to try and blind past these guards. Scrap went full Karen on them, which I personally respect. If this place had ye olde YouTube, that'd be on there. But we managed to get them to piss off.
Yeah.
But what we weren't expecting is, right as Lilith thought she had a breakthrough with Monkey Man, and we were going to be like, oh, we have a new friend that's apparently as big as our fucking barbarian, she electrocuted him. Not the most scientific move, Lilith, not gonna lie, love. You kinda bottled it. And he proceeded to try and squish her head. Turns out, Lilith didn't fuck up. There's a plague doctor looking motherfucker that none of us know exists, because Goldie's the only person that decided to look at them while they're on the moonlit dinner. And notice this man with a big red buzzer going every time the monkey tries doing something. Apparently, this rings a bell for her because she's used to, in the past, 2 years ago, there was some sort of Triton-looking motherfucker that had been altered as well. And here we are. We basically were about to enter combat, and it bottled it, so we had to leave it. And I think I didn't miss anything.
No, that was very fucking precise.
Beautiful.
Enjoy your recap.
I regularly do the recap for like our other group.
He does. He's the only one who does it.
I do it in that exact same format.
I feel like it's easier on everybody to an extent because there's always the note taker. Looks at Rachel. There's always.
I'm not doing it this campaign. Stars.
How dare you? Must make her recap every day.
No.
You fucked there. You shouldn't
You
have
fucking.
admitted that.
You spoke up now, fool.
I'm writing in-depth research notes instead
Oh.
in character.
Well, just as good to be fair.
Actually, yeah, you are, to be fair, because
so
you started
cool.
talking about that. You like started listing off blood types and all this kind of shit.
But yeah, enjoy your inspiration dice. If you have one, use it before the end of session. Otherwise, this floating dice is gone. You will still have inspiration regardless, of course, if you already had it.
Oh, is that for me?
Yeah. If you didn't have inspiration, you get one. If you already have one, you can either give it to someone else or keep that as floating. If you don't use it before the end of session, give it to someone or ask a question.
Can I give it to someone mid-session?
Yeah. Technically speaking, at any point, anyone can give someone else their dice.
Okay, I remember that. So I currently have two.
Player intervention.
Do you think you're the only guard here? No, I'm kidding.
Yes. So combat starts. Severus. The initiative starts with you. Obviously, you guys won't see the initiative at the moment because I made a different small map for this. So you are on that instead at the moment. At the moment, it's Severus. Next up will be Scrap. What are you doing, Severus? You hear the sounds of Thumpy Thumpy Boy as he gets a little upset.
Is it being aggressive towards Lilith? Still? Yeah. That's where we left off,
Not
right?
actively, but it is
Angry.
angry.
And I have my sword drawn ready, so I guess I'm just gonna kind of move up next to Lilith and kind of protect her a little bit, take a bit of a protective stance
Do you
around her.
holding an action to guard or take an attack for her, or
Might actually use to move out the way if it gets aggressive and looks like it's going to attack her. Is that?
I'll say when
I
it
would have to attack it, not move her.
no, I'll say when it attempts to attack, if you're aiding, the pair of you can do something like you do a strength, she makes a dex against the monkey's like punching or something, and if either or is well enough, the attack will be missed entirely.
Yeah, something like that. That's
Yeah.
what I want to do for now. Yeah.
Okay. Scrap.
Question.
Tell me what you
Does
think about
this
me.
guy look like he can be charmed?
That's a very good question.
Should I roll for it?
It's a living creature. You're fairly sure it could, though with the augments it has, there's no guarantees that it will. But you're pretty sure it can.
Does it have any metal on him?
Oh yeah, pretty much. Chest, a couple of claws, one of its eyes seems replaced.
Done?
What, sorry?
Hold on.
Oh, okay. To what?
It's got fucking jokes.
I'm so funny.
Let's see. Grid. Okay.
Man, this is one big ass fucking room. I just realised. Shit.
Yes.
Okay. I can move 30 feet, right? So that should be enough to put me up here.
Yes.
Yes. I will take out my light crossbow
Mhm.
as I cast Fairy Fire
Ooh. Okay.
on this guy.
On the big
And
boy.
I just checked. Yeah. I just checked. It shouldn't hit them.
To be fair, if you're doing it from the wall, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Okay, so that's Dex. Dex. Okay. Boop. 20.
Shit.
Even with the tightness of the space, as the spell casts, shoots off around the area, and the little droplets of light start to appear. The creature quickly starts like thumping around in its little panic and its anger, and some of the dust like kicks up and whatnot, and it flails its arms around, and little bits of wind sweep.
Okay. I do a little snap with my finger, and Lilith, you feel a bit more inspired.
Yay!
Happy feelings. Boop.
Oh god, I have not felt these in a long time.
It's like, oh, what is this? Is that you, Scrap?
Yeah.
Gideon.
Am I at the bottom of the steps still, or am I just stood at the top of them?
Bottom of the steps. This
Okay, how
weird
much
like
movement will it
fan thing is the stairs.
These stairs, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so right. So is the stone the bottom and the wood's the top?
Yeah, buddy.
Ah, okay. So how much movement would it take for me to get up?
1 second. Do. So
Oh, it's all 5 foot, so it'd take my whole movement to get up there then.
you have 30?
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, you
what
intend
I'll
to
do
get
then,
close. Okay.
I'll dash action and use 30 feet to get up the steps, plus another 10 because scrap would be difficult terrain, wouldn't it?
He's an ally. You can move
Oh.
through him.
Oh, okay, so 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. And then, yeah, I'll just kind of stand here ready for like, oh shit, big monkey, angry.
I will break the subtle misconception that this map is actually huge. It's only huge because your tokens are huge. The map itself is actually very small.
So, for example, like you were here, that's 5 feet.
Yeah, we're massive.
So it'd be 5, 10, 15 to get here.
Yeah. Yeah, but then it's difficult terrain up the steps, isn't it?
It's just stairs.
Oh, it's just stairs. Oh,
Yeah, it's just
motherfucker.
stairs. Don't worry, I'm not that
Wow.
picky.
15.
So getting there would be 45 if you wanted to go that far.
I'll go here then, and I will hold my action to shoot a firebolt at this thing if it looks like it's about to hit one of those two in the front.
Okay. Then the initiative carries over to the other side of the map. As this guy hovering in the corner over here,
I see him.
and he also sees you and starts to run the other way.
No!
You see, with them turning and looking toward you, the green glowing like spectres where their eyes are, they scan over the area for a moment and they turn to look to you as if you've made some heavy-footed movement or something. But it's almost like an uncanny sight as they quickly turn and look exactly at you and then turn back away, dash past, and run out to the distance. It is your turn, Goldie.
Oh man. Cool. Okay. I can't move that far. I'm gonna just dash up here then. See if I can. I'll look down where he went as well. See if I can see him. How far he is away.
Okay.
If there's even a chance. Is there a chance I could? Can I see him?
So as you get to this point, you see they've taken this slight, for the sake of like a movie scene moment, they're like dashing off down the street and then they're about just taking a sharp right turn. Under technical senses, no, because they would have already done their movement and moved out of sight. But if you want to make an attack, it will be at disadvantage.
Disadvantage. That sucks. No, I'll leave it. I've used my action to dash, so I'll just, wait here and then see what I can do next turn.
Okay. I believe. Wait. You could get to the inside of the building if you wanted.
Sure, I'll go in.
Okay. Then, boop.
Finally I get to see what's going on in here.
Let me just.
Yeah, we're all upstairs, so you can't see.
Oh, I haven't even seen what that looks like yet. I couldn't even see what that looked. Oh my god.
Monkey.
Ollie, is that you?
Listen, right.
I'm sorry.
That's just mean. Lilith.
Okay. Dog, please. I'm going to attempt to cast. No, that's not a good idea. I was going to say blindness, but that might make him even angrier. Please. Damn it. Fuck. I will just. This is the fucking. I'm gonna drop my other spell. I'm gonna try and cast Calm Emotion
Okay.
on Monkey. Oh, he's not humanoid, is he?
Nope. You would know that.
Fuck.
You would know that beforehand.
So I can't cast. Okay. Damn. I'm sorry, Monkey. You're just. This is not gonna end well for you. Guess I'll just. I'll use aid.
Okay.
On the three upstairs with me.
So
And then I'm gonna go hide.
it'll be them three or yourself and two.
Those three.
Okay.
And I'm gonna hide behind Savras and hope that nothing happens.
So just to note, because it can go wrong with Roll20's sheet. Also, I'm echoing through somebody. Who is it? Who's in trouble? I
Not me.
see you, Sophie.
Muted, so. What, it's me?
Mm-hmm.
I'm muted. That's weird. I muted my mic.
I
mean, sometimes my mic does seem like it's going off, but I haven't been told it.
It's either you
Wait,
or
what are
Ollie.
you talking about?
Apparently,
I
there's an
heard.
echo sort of thing.
I heard
Right.
it.
I
I
muted my
know
mic.
all. Yes.
Yeah.
See? Still doing it.
It is actually.
Yeah.
Okay, I've been telling Ollie about this, and he's been telling me that I'm going crazy.
I don't know how to sort it.
That's
I told
alright.
you that my mic, it says it's going off when it isn't.
But it is going off.
Yes, that's what I mean. It keeps saying it's going off when I'm not talking, and even when I'm muted. So I mute my mic now.
Is that from the source? Is that from Discord or your headset? Sounds like headset.
My headset. I mute on my
There's-
headset.
It might be one of the things I looked up the other day for Discord when my stuff was bugging out and I couldn't hear anyone properly, where the noise cancellation and all that messes with the headset and its settings. At the very least, I can't hear myself right now anyway, if that helps whatsoever. But anyway, it's really not important. It was just me taking the piss thing.
Let me know.
Yeah, those of you who are being targeted for aid, don't increase your actual full health on this sheet. Put it down as temporary HP, but don't get rid of it. Just make a note of it being there when you're at full health. But if you were taking damage, you would have healed HP, but you don't. So as of the moment, Savras has 46, Gideon has 32, and our dear Mozzarella Scrap has 29 technical HP.
Oh.
Okay. So is that you, Lilith? Si, senor. Cool. Then it's time for the big brown boy. He is going to unfortunately make a wisdom save. And fail miserably. He's associating you with pain.
Me?
Well, all of you technically, but
No, my monkey friend.
so he is going to stomp, stomp, stomp. As he goes stomping forward using his knuckles and feet, moving his way forward with that kind of rage that's bubbling in his very core at the moment. As he looks towards you all, you see his normal eye just gets it's very bloodshot. And as he's looking down at you all, you see the body's like shaking for a moment, and then as he closes that eye, the other one still open as it's a false eye that you now know, you see this very bright little bit of red energy gather in the middle of the false eye, and then this ray of energy shoots toward the pair of you.
Does that trigger my raid action?
What was it when he attacks?
Basically, if he
Yeah.
attacks,
Oh,
what was I shoot
easily.
fireball?
Yeah.
Okay.
Severus and Lilith, please make dexterity saves.
Oh.
22 to hit for 8 fire damage.
Hell yeah, boy.
Is this going to trigger my danger sense?
Put it on
Gives me
screen.
advantage on dex saves against effects that see, such as weapon spells.
Put it on screen just for the full context.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not technically a spell, but it says such as, of course. So yeah, you get advantage. I mean, it's not like he's any capacity to make it a surprise thing. Okay, so you both succeed. As it starts charging forward, stops for a moment, its body shakes, and then it closes one eye, looks down toward you. The little red beam lights, and then this thin red beam scatters along the floor, leaving a small trail of fire for a moment, ripping into the wooden surface. But as the beam shoots toward you both, Savras, very quickly, you put your hand out and give a kind of light push to Lilith to help her aside, as you deemed earlier, and you yourself very quickly push yourself out of the way, leaping just a little to the left. As you and Lilith dodge aside, the creature just looks back with both eyes at you all, and just starts beating its chest with an anger.
Oh.
That's its turn. Severus.
You done fucked up, boy. And then I just want to punch this thing. Sorry. Do I get my bonus on arm strike now? No, that's not the 10. Cool. Yeah, I'm just gonna hit it with my great sword for now, which I have readied.
1 second. I will give you, since you have intent to kill, a unique notice. Its core that's embedded in its chest seems very important. And if you wanted, you could attack that instead of the creature.
Oh, I don't know about that. It's just a big monkey.
Big monk. Okay.
Just tried attacking me.
That's the case. There we go. So as you swing the blade toward it, see as it looks down at you, it gets suddenly very alerted, and as the blade goes toward it, you cleave into the side of it, but you hit what feels like a little bit of metal on the inside of its body. As you tear through a part of it, you see little like metallic undercoating underneath some of the fur, but it seems to only be specific to little parts of its body that have maybe been removed or altered. You notice as well that it seems to, with its current raging, ignore most of your attack. Resistance, baby. Is that you?
Okay. Yeah, that is me.
Okay. Scrap.
Well, since you started attacking, I think we're at the point of no return. Which
Plausibly.
is why. Don't do that to me.
Hey, there's nothing to say that you couldn't still try.
Fine.
Fuck, being a good guy again. Oh.
Hideous laughter.
That's going to be horrifying if that monkey starts laughing.
See much precision.
Yep.
Things funny. Target sees system save. Cool.
Wisdom.
Wisdom. It's probably going to fail this, hopefully. Or not. 15. With a minus.
Wait.
1. Yep.
I want to use this.
Creature see the next attack roll that you check a damage roll. Reaction. Expend.
Wait, no.
Subtract.
Attack, ability check, or damage roll. Oh, never mind.
No.
So I can use it anyway.
Unfortunate.
Yeah.
Okay. Look at you though, your sneaky cutting words. Okay, so first off, how
But no,
does
if
your
it's-
spell look for you? Because you have a very
How does it look?
yeah.
Wow.
You could always go either the artificer route, where it's like a device or something, or you can do it the typical bard route, where it's an actual like verbal thing with power behind it.
Okay, so
Those are examples, by the way. That's not a be all end all.
Okay, I got something. So I use the boombox
Yeah.
to play part sound. Hopefully, it's stupid enough so it will.
Yeah, I'll give you
like
that.
this kind of yeah.
Yeah. So, as you cast the spell and the sound emanates out, the creature, as it is induced on it, just kind of looks confused for a moment, then it just kind of shakes its head. And there is that moment where it stops with its anger and it seems subsided. And then it does kind of look around a little bit confused. Its rage, in a technical sense, is still going, but for a theatrical sense, the creature has stood there very confused. Not just from your spell casting. Is that you?
I would say that Severus would feel inspired by this sound as well. So yeah, you have yeah, exactly. Bardic inspiration.
And for some
And
reason, the sound of
that's it.
farts inspires you all.
Mm-hmm.
Gideon.
I will make my way up right in front of it and pop out my little wrist blades. Do I see the mechanical thing in its chest?
Oh yeah, easily. It's very noticeable. It's a bit covered by fur in places, but it's very noticeable.
And as an artificer, can I tell this is probably pretty important for you?
Oh, incredibly so. I'm pretty sure it might have been Lilith, but for you it'd be an easy notifier anyway. This, just generally looking at how it's structured around the body, is very vital to at least control it or keep it alive. And either way works for you.
Pretty much, yeah. So I'm going to attack that specifically.
Okay.
So, 14 to hit for 8 thunder damage.
It hits but does not do enough damage.
Okay.
Specifically for a technical sense, you don't actually hit the creature. The AC is 15. Enjoy. As you strike against it, there is that moment as the creature just stood there confused, and you just go for it and smack it. You feel the reverberation effect as your armor kind of just starts to shake and rattle for a moment, as if you've been hit by a bit of recoil. Is that you?
Yes, because my mini-me is currently outside in it because we fixed the roof.
Yes.
Yeah, then I'll do that, but I'll have my mini-me try to make its way into the building somehow.
Okay.
If it can, like if it flies through the front door or something.
It will be on your next turn.
Okay.
Okay. Then.
Yeah, that'll be...
Nice. Then Goldie, your turn. I will note that this is the second floor and there is a wall in the way.
Oh, damn! I'm still gonna be running. Okay.
She's just there like, I'm coming!
I'll get there eventually. Yeah, I guess I'll dash so I can get to the stairs.
And then you can get just in front of Scrap.
I can, can't I?
To be fair, you can shoot from there as well. You can just about
Well, I've
see.
just dashed though. That was my action.
Action surge? If you felt for it.
Oh.
As you do look in though, you can see, you've heard of course them all like making loud noises, and the creature was making weird noises, but at the moment as you go up there and look up, you see Savras there, like blade ready, slightly bloodied, Gideon's gauntlets out, and the creature's just kind of sat there with a bit of confusion looking down at them all.
Aww. Aww. So it doesn't look like it's being horrible.
Not from this perspective.
Only because of fart noises.
I'll stick here and I'll just shout over, guys, I think it's being controlled. There was a guy outside. I don't think it's, any, trouble. And I'm just gonna stay here and just watch for now.
Okay. Then Lilith.
I'm sorry, monkey. I'm gonna step out of the way. I don't have a lot of attack stuff. I will just fucking. No, I can't do that. That's bad. Fuck.
Make an insight check with Jinx.
Oh, with Jinx. Oh shit! Wait, let me open everything. Where's Jinx? Oh, there. Allies.
Yeah.
Perception.
Insight.
Oh fuck! How do I insight?
It's
How
wisdom.
do I insight? Wisdom. Oof.
Just as oof. Jinx is looking up at it ready to pounce. but she's not making any sounds. So she seems like she's trying to still scope it out.
That's concentration. Everything I have is concentration. This is really frustrating.
Cleric life.
No, that's fucking. What about that one? Okay, I got fuck else to do, so I'm just gonna cast Sanctuary on Savras.
Ooh.
That's only a bonus action.
Oh.
I cry for my normal action. Oh, can I do a guiding bolt if I've just done a spell?
Under other game circumstances, no, but in this one, I prefer the rule no double damage spells, but everything else is fine. So yes.
Okay. Guiding bolt. Monkey.
Monk. What's that? Sanctuary. That hits, of course. So let's give that for Sanctuary. What is your damage for Guiding Bolt?
Oh god, I'm so bad at this. 4d6. 10.
That's not too bad.
And the next turn has advantage.
The next one to swing batter swing.
See.
Okay, so it does not resist radiant damage, of course. So as you aim one hand towards Savras and the other at the beast and fire both spells off, as the guiding bolt flies toward it, strikes against the creature with hot, pure white intensity. It kind of cowers for a moment, and you see it kind of like starts rubbing toward near its eyes as you see parts of the fur around the neck and shoulder not scorched per se, but now coloured a deep, pure white. The creature just makes subtle groaning sounds and then looks out toward you each as it recovers sight, and it looks toward you with what looks to be a disappointment, and then you see a blood red hot anger come across its face. Is that you?
Yeah.
So the boy is going to bing bang hit one on Savras and hit one on Gideon. 19 for Savras and 11 for Gideon.
Does not hit me.
Sanctuary's in effect, right? So
Yeah, does he do?
yes.
Does he pass his wisdom save to actually hit Savras?
Let's have a look. 6, he does not. So the creature must choose a new target or lose the attack or spell. Spell doesn't protect the ward of the creature from area of effect, blah 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 blah, makes an attack or cast a spell that affects an enemy creature's spells. Yeah, so instead, as he's about to strike you with Sanctuary running around you, the creature just looks at you with this, what looks to be a type of confusion, but it's angered as if it wants to hit you but it doesn't understand why it can't, and it's going to try and hit Gideon instead. So.
Well, if it uses the same attack roll, then it hits.
Nope, I rolled a new one.
Okay, what's the new one?
An 18.
Doesn't hit.
Yes, because Armoured Boy.
Uh-huh.
So as he swings towards you the first time, he hits your armor, but with the density of it, for you it's literally like this small like rumble on the chest. And then as he goes again, he tries to go for a like sledgehammer onto your head, and he hits your helmet, and same thing. And as he recoils both arms back, looking at his hands with confusion, as if you're this icon of metal itself, just looks at you with confusion, and you see that he's really aggravated by the fact he can't hurt you.
Good heavens, little boy. You're investing some armor.
now you've got me really upset, and I'm gonna rage.
Yes, bitch.
And then, let me remember how this works. Reckless attack.
On your first attack on your turn, if you reckless attack, you get advantage on all subsequent attacks. But so do your enemies.
Advantage. I'm going to have advantage anyway, right? Because of
Guiding Bolt.
Mhm.
So, I guess I just rage and then go to attack it.
Okay.
Oh, good job, it's advantage.
Nope.
Maybe not.
So,
Inspiration.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What is it? D4?
D6.
D6. Yeah.
yeah, easily. Not bad, not bad. Okay. So, remove that. For starters, congrats, Mosey, on being the only bard I know that reminds people about the inspiration. Secondly, that does hit. As you swing and you just kind of maybe giggle, maybe are reminded slightly of that weird farting sound a minute ago, and you kind of feel yourself weirdly inspired. I don't know if Saphras would laugh exactly at that, but as you're like swinging with that hot intensity carving through you, you do hit the creature for a moment. You do hit some kind of metal plating, and you feel as if it's lodged. And in that same split second, you put all of the muscle and force you have into pushing the strike through, and you cleave into the creature's gut, just a slight bit. And he still takes half from the slashing, but he is now very hot and tempered. And he is, as they say, bloodied, which I will not always tell you, because you shouldn't know anyway. Deal with it. Is that your turn?
It's my turn, yeah.
Okay. Scrap.
Mm-hmm. So, okay, I'm gonna do this first. Gideon, you saw something?
Yeah, the thing on its chest, man. It looks like it's important.
Hmm. Now, if I hit it, if I use hit metal on it, I don't think it would. Or maybe it would fire the circuits? Would that be a possibility? Would I think that would be a possibility?
Given what you are, if it is as important as you think it is, for the sake of context, before I say anything else, the item on its chest does have its own unique HP and AC. But once that thing goes, whatever happens in regards to the creature and its connection, it ceases to be. So if that means the creature requires that to live, the creature will start dying or die immediately. If it's a control collar, he is freed from the control.
We just don't know what the fuck it is.
For certain.
Worth a shot, I think. Because either he dies a painful death by us, or he dies... Yeah. Worth a shot. So I'll try to fry the thingy. Nah. English.
The core, yeah. Okay. So con save. Just checking.
No, Constitution save is to...
During each of its turns?
If he holds it, then he needs to pass a Constitution save if he doesn't want to drop it.
Yes, and because he can't get rid of it. That's, yeah. Never underestimate the power of heat metal. So how would your heat metal look? I personally like have thought of the idea of, like, with your boombox, you originate
high frequency.
Yeah, you originate the sound on the
ambient noise to... exactly.
Yeah, boy, hell yeah.
To start, the atoms, make them go faster, or something, if that's even physically possible.
It's D&D, who cares? It happens now.
You have a point.
That's magic.
Yep.
Is that you, Scrap? Or do you want to pass off any more inspiration, or...?
Gideon, you feel inspired.
Oh, yeah.
What noise do you give to Gideon?
The sound of hitting circuitry is oddly inspiring to you.
To be fair, if it's going to affect anyone, it will probably affect the artificer.
Mm.
So.
Yep,
Yep.
exactly.
Okay, speaking of Gideon, your turn.
I will take another crack at the chest, so the core again.
Yep.
So I'll try to stab that with my Guardian Blades.
Yep,
18 to hit.
that
30
hits.
Oh, wow.
damage.
Fucking nice. So,
Sink the blade right into it.
so this time, as you hear all of a sudden from this little... for you it sounds quiet, but then when it originates and sets fire to the core on the creature's chest as it's flailing there in a panic, you quickly sink your... It was blades, right?
Yeah, like wrist blades.
Hmm.
Come out the top of my wrist.
Straight through the creature and just... sonic explosive power ripping apart the metals on the inside, and you see the creature's actual eye start to roll back a little bit, and then it shakes its head, still barely conscious. Is that you?
Well, as me mini-me come in, because if he has, I'll just make him fly up here. Try to get him into the fight.
He is indeed. Hold on. Boop. So
Then
start there.
I'll have my mini-me. So I'll have him dash. He can only fly 20 feet, so that'll do for him.
Okay.
That's me.
Then Goldie.
Oh, I'll move a bit here.
Ooh,
Okay.
I'm actually gonna do something. Okay. So. I'm gonna move up a little bit, just a little bit. I'm guessing. Can I still shoot through these guys? If I...
Yeah, that's entirely fine. As long
Okay,
as
cool.
they're not, for example, like Savrus is conditional because he's fucking tall and built, but for the most part you can shoot through allies. I like.
Well, I hope you trust me, Gideon. I would like to use my my bonus action to put my hunter's mark on him,
Mhm.
and then I'd also there's so many things. Like to use a grit point.
Yep.
To gain advantage on hitting him.
For the sake of possibly saving you some skills, the core counts as a different entity, technically speaking.
Oh.
So if you did hit with an attack on the core, the Hunter's Mark wouldn't trigger. If you hit the creature with the Hunter's Mark trigger, that would hit the creature, but the core would be fine. Because they have two separate health pools.
Oh.
Just as a general.
What's everyone else been hitting?
They've been hitting the core,
The core. The core.
which is currently on fire and starting to spark.
Cool, I hit that then. I won't use my hunter's mark, but I'll still use a grit point to gain advantage on it then.
Yes.
Cool. Advantage with my pistol. My death raise. Where is it? That one.
Nice.
With a 22.
A 23, yes. Oh yeah.
23. I can't count, I can tell you.
That does hit, so
The barbecue sauce
man.
stuff in your mind.
it is still alive. As you have death race, you aim forward and blast with a precision.
So sad. That
You hear
roll.
the bullet smash into the core a couple of inches, but it doesn't get far or do enough to destroy it completely, though you can see the thing is starting to fall apart a little bit. There are pieces at the front of the metal casing that's starting to chip off. Is that you?
I will action surge then and try again.
Same everything with that advantage?
Same everything. Do I do it with advantage? Sure, why not? I use grit point to gain
Also,
advantage.
wait, hold on. You had strength in the roll of death raise damage.
Oh, Yeah.
Hold on.
Wait.
Yeah, let me change that.
Yeah, why does that come out strength?
It does that sometimes with custom weapons.
Ah. I was thinking that is a poor roll. I was thinking 3.
Hold on, even on... Why is it even saying it on Dex? I might have to...
I don't know. I swear, like.
Oh, no,
it
sorry,
was
there it is.
on-
There we go. There we
Ah.
go. It stays as strength usage with the other component, but with
Alright.
ranged it's text. Just click Death Rays again for damage sake.
The damage.
Well, I mean, you are attacking again anyway, innit? So.
Well, I mean, to be fair. Oh yeah, well,
Brother.
it's a good thing I asked you to do the damage again, because the initial shot destroys the core. As you fire with Death Rays, the bullet blasts through the frontal part of the armor. There's that moment where the creature's just like struck back for a moment, and it's wobbling, drops to a knee, but then it stands up. You see its arms rise up as if it's about to swing down onto these new companions, and then you just hear some kind of sparking as you see from the chest.
Oops.
It splits in half down the middle as pieces of the metal start to fall off. And then you see this gaping wound inside of its chest that was covered, that has this biological beating heart, this blue metal shaped in the shape of a heart with what looks to be like these wires bound around it that lead deeper into the inside of its body, and you can see what looks to be your bullet a bare inch deep into that beating heart. And you see all of a sudden as the bullet drops out and this blue liquid starts to spill out from the heart, and the creature is locked almost in that moment in time. And then you see the hands drop very quickly and the body slump and smash into the ground as it dies.
Oh man, I just killed it. Oh well.
And that is initiative.
I suppose giving it around, but what the fuck was that?
It seemed to have some sort of sentience.
Can I start to investigate the machinery to see if I can make heads or tails of anything that's happened?
Yeah. Do you have any tools? You do, right?
Yeah, I have currently
So
on
many.
me Tinkerer's tools, Smith's tools, and Thieves' tools.
Make a Tinkerers or Smiths. They will give you different answers as well. Smiths will be based off of the metals themselves, but Tinkerers will be more for your own artificer knowledge, like how it got made, as opposed to with what.
I suppose I want Tinkerers then. What do I add to the roll? Like what attribute? Intelligence?
It'll be, yeah.
Okay. Only a 12.
Hmm.
Can I do the same with Smiths as well to see if I can figure out both bits?
Sure, it'll take quite a bit more time. You guys would have to spend. You get.
And I do have I
inspiration.
have my inspiration.
To be fair, if you roll 6, that's pretty. Oh, that's still pretty good. That's still pretty good. Depends on how much time you guys are spending here, because with one of them, you can spend a little bit of time to generally figure it out, but it will take a lot of time to properly analyze it and figure out anything. First off, with a just general overlook. Let me just pause that quick, because it's very tense for a not so tense moment.
Yeah.
As you look it over, the general look of the creature is something that's been made partially synthetic, but that was something you obviously knew anyway, not to mention with the beating heart that no longer beats. As you first look over the claws, you see that they are literally just pieces of metal that have been inserted by force through the flesh, as if like someone has impaled it with glass and it's just got stuck there, and they've moulded flesh back over it with the feet, there are a couple of like metallic claw additions that seem to be some kind of fusion of metal over nail. So imagine a kind of Wolverine sort of thing. The weird core that it has, now that you have a better look at it, as pieces of it have like fallen off, you can see what look to be like wiring, and the more interesting part is the shell that was over the heart originally. As you now have a better look on the inside of it, you turn it over and look, you can see what looks to be some kind of small device that seem to be in multiple amounts that go across the what I'm calling a backpack that started from the front of the chest and went all the way around its body. You can see small little devices that, as you kind of take a look at it, inspect it for a moment, you notice it has this slight electrical feedback, and you take it as a hint that it can be used from a small radius to trigger a small electric shock. But with as many as there were attached to this backpack, it could induce quite a nasty bit of pain. Not to mention the wiring and obviously the heart itself, given that there was one directly in front of it, would have caused it immense pain. The heart itself is a strange metallic shell that never actually made any like humanoid heart like beeping or bumping per se, but it did make these small like jutted motions in places every now and again. But now that it's been opened up, as you kind of look inside it, you're not too sure in what way it kept it alive. With unfortunately the check you have with that, make a Smith's one as well for the sake of the expanded time.
Okay, same again with intelligence.
Oof.
I will use my inspiration that I have floating, because fuck it.
Yeah, boy.
Is that with advantage then?
Always.
Okay, well, I mean, I can't. Oh, wait, no, I can toggle it. Toggle advantage, Smith's, intelligence.
Nice.
24.
So the metals that we used are not super rare per se. They are things that you've seen in Mechanus before, though, which is within its own sense a rarity, since nobody really leaves Mechanus with anything other than either control, as in they themselves are being controlled, or they will leave conditionally. So, like, for example, the sheer fact you left is solely because you had contacts deep within Mechanus, and you yourself have mechanical parts. You were considered, to an exception, one of them. But the metals along this creature's form, or at least the core anyway, are pretty sturdy, and considering someone's got enough of it to waste it on what is essentially an experimental guinea pig, and if what Goldie said is true, and he was here and is just fucked off, he probably has a lot more, and that makes him dangerous, because anyone with even an iota of that knowledge or technology cannot be allowed to live and let things like these run around.
Well, guys, we got a mystery.
Oh yes. You, with enough time with the core and the heart, and to an extent, if you wanted, the little devices could figure out some kind of blueprint to recreate it, but you would have a much easier time if you could question the one who made it, if you were curious about that. Because
Oh,
yes.
he's interested about, like, basically any machinery. But if it's involving any form of biology, he'd probably look at Lilith and be like, you probably might be able to help me figure this shit out, to be honest. Machines is my forte, but integrating them with sort of biology is not my specialty. What do you think?
Just as a quick note as well, as you, the eye is also a mechanical thing, but as you go to inspect it, and you try to like get a closer look, as you get even close, even slightly close, you see all of a sudden the eye just like snaps in half, and you just hear the sound of something whirring. And as you kind of like take a step back, maybe prepare, you see all of a sudden as the eye just has this miniature explosion, and a small portion of the head is just blown outward as the eye itself destroys itself.
Alright.
Sorry, carry on.
Guess I'm not inspecting that. But yeah, he turned to Lilith and asked her, like, basically what I said about biology. What do you think of the whole thing?
I'm already edging closer with my tools. Can I start poking it? I want to take some blood,
Mm-hmm.
and then if there's any opened wounds, I want to put on my apron and start just like having a look.
I like the idea of you just like being there with a little penny and just like,
I've got apron and gloves on. You've got to be sanitary.
of course.
Whereas there was Gideon quite literally poking this thing with screwdrivers. Like,
I have surgical tools. I'll
Um,
pull out my entire bag, my huge surgical tool bag.
just like conk. Okay, so I've got this, got scalpel, got this, got gel, got this.
Actually includes all of this.
fucking
You said last time this thing was a beast, right?
It is a beast, come partial construct, but it is in itself a monstrosity for that fact. Lilith, the May, as you are kind of poking around, how deep are you getting into it? Are you like taking?
Oh yeah, I'm getting elbow deep.
Okay. So just
Again, full involved.
for everyone else's sake, I'm pretty sure something like this wouldn't technically be normal for most of you. So for those of you that are squeamish in character, this is the moment where you look the fuck away. As she starts bringing out surgical tools, and she's just like humming to herself. She's like stabbing it with things.
Respectfully.
Respectfully stabbing it with things, taking its blood.
Meanwhile, Savros is actually being respectful and praying over it,
Oh.
and he's calmed down from his rage.
Occasionally I'll be like, Stavras, lift its arm. Please. Move the leg.
Severus, take the head off.
No. I am being respectful and praying over it because I want my fancy gifts.
Right, before anything, I'll check with you about that in a second, just for my own writing and shit. But with checking the body over and that pretty decent check, to be fair, you do have inspiration from Mosey if you want to use that as well.
Yes.
Or you can keep it for a next roll, but Mosey has things.
22.
Pretty good, to be fair. Fucking lucky inspiration, Jesus. As you're inspecting the body over, first and foremost, you take a sample of the blood. You kind of just like look at it, tink it, tink it a little bit. You put it in your cooler for a moment, let it get nice and chilled for a while as you're like inspecting the rest of the body. First off, the blood itself is just regular red blood. It has a slightly darker coloration to it. As you kind of take a little peek at it, just looking over it properly, you kind of just take a small smell of it, as is your capability, and it has this almost like subtle death smell to it. It's a very delicate one, and only people with peculiar noses for this kind of thing would even smell it. But the creature from the inside out has been dying slowly since you assume this stuff has been implemented. As for checking its like internals out, as you're like getting like full into its body, there are a couple of like pieces of plate that have been placed over a lot of the portions of its rib cage. A few pieces around the hip. There's one or two that are covering its right leg. Its nails, and as you kind of like trim off some of the hair in parts, you notice one of its fingers have been completely replaced, as you see that a large portion of one of the bones have been torn out from one of its fingers and has been replaced entirely by metal, and then has had fur fused over the metal to simulate what the creature originally was. For the most part, its brain is really the only thing that it had properly intact. There were, of course, like large chunks of its body that were still bone and flesh and muscle, but it was altered in some minor way or another, having some kind of exoskeleton fused in places. But other than that, there's no real fun you get out of it. Though you do learn, of course, that it is a monstrosity of sorts. It was originally a beast, but its blood has been tainted to the point through slow death and engineering that it's considered a monstrosity. And the
Do I see how the stuff was attached?
it seems like it was fused by literally like removing skin, fusing it to the probably slightly dead or decaying body, and then resuscitating it with what you can assume can only be magic, because a normal procedure would cause this creature to die with that many abnormalities to its body. So whoever this is has engineering and magical knowledge. Any other questions?
Do I know how the brain works? The heart works?
Without it being intact, it's slightly difficult to tell. You and Gideon would have to spend some time together brainstorming it properly.
I mean, he'd be up for that.
No, yeah.
Okay.
But probably not the time and the place.
No.
I'll just take some notes, and there's not much else I can do. I'll just wipe off all the blood and put all my shit away.
Okay. So, with the time it would take for all of that, it'd be at least, unless you are intending to put any of the pieces back, so to speak, it'll be in an hour, about an hour, 45 minutes.
I wouldn't be putting the pieces back. I'd find something interesting and probably take it with me.
I was just poking with tools, and when I am done, I just leave it.
Okay. Then let me deal with unseen gifts real quick.
So the blood is not tasty.
You don't know exactly.
It smells like death, so I have a feeling it won't be tasty.
You have that feeling, but it is altered blood, so.
Can I dip my finger in some of the blood and just poke the end of my tongue?
Tastes like Mountain Dew.
Before I answer that, Erin.
Yeah.
Did you choose what type of creature?
I chose beasts for my unseen gifts.
Okay, let me
I
just.
felt like
that.
historically that would be the most common thing I would run into, but maybe I was wrong.
No, I feel like that is what you said. I mean, either way, it's a one choice until a couple of levels from now anyway, so I'm not going to take it away from you.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, cool. You will have to give me a minute for the answer to that.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
But they will be available shortly. Okay. As you, Lilith, dip your pinky in a little bit and kind of just give it a little lap, there is that moment where it's kind of got that sour taste, and you do kind of react to it for a second, but then as you properly digest it, it has this slight richness to it, and it kind of gives you this resemblance to eating meat, though of course it's been a while. It is a rough start, but you don't hate it exactly. You'd consider it maybe D-class blood.
Oh, so it's better than the other people.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, F grade fighters. this big monstrosity's got better blood than you.
He is rich.
Talking about my blood.
Lol.
I don't know what grade your blood is until I taste it.
So let me have a taste.
I'm human.
It would wash.
I don't drink blood unless I have consent. I haven't drank Stavras's blood.
Hmm.
See, I'm good. I'm a good vampire.
Mhm.
Did you take a sample of the Fox Lady's blood as
Oh
well?
yeah, but I didn't
Yeah.
do that either. I didn't drink it.
No.
Two of which, for the sake of context, is downstairs hiding.
Fair.
So, does anybody know what the fuck that thing was then? Because I mean, I sure as shit don't.
It seems to be some sort of beast that has been experimented on. The amendments made must have been done by magic because, biologically speaking, it would not be possible to have it still live with that many upgrades.
Alright. Well, whoever the fuck is making these, we kind of. I don't know. I don't think it's good to have them running around making more of these. This is some really like dangerous shit he's using.
How are we to find these people? We don't even know who they are.
Well, Goldie, you saw one, didn't you?
Well, I did, but kind of ran off. Got outside before I even had a chance to shoot him.
True American. I mean, what?
Fuji that. You know, he could have been a nice guy, but I just want to shoot him.
Bang bang, motherfucker!
Hey. Is anybody injured?
Well, I mean, yeah. First of all, anybody get hit?
Does anybody require healing?
Nope, you are all insufferably difficult to hit.
I don't. It's not. I gave myself a high AC just to annoy Lee.
Hey,
But I can't.
hey, it's called saving throws, bitch. Don't tempt me.
Fuck you,
I'll
man.
get you.
Fuck you, man.
That's what he did to me. Made me fall off a fucking bridge.
Did I?
Hey, hit me with him
Oh,
intelligence
yeah, so I
saving
did.
throws. I'll be alright with him.
Goes for charisma.
No, my one weakness.
Boston. Right. Well,
Perhaps we should call some guards so they can
Oh,
see
yeah.
the guards. They did hear a massive scream.
I was gonna say we might want to tell them what's going on.
Goldie, do you know any
Sort
guards?
that shit out.
It's a good question. Do I know any guards other
Oh.
than the one I just,
You'd easily know guards, of course. You might not know them intimately, but you'd know them.
Seems one of them struck out.
There is that one called James as well. Or was he called James?
James,
Mhm.
yeah, I mate
Oh,
James.
yeah, you could go to James.
We could go to our pal James.
Zoms.
Can I just quickly check if the monster had any injections on its wrists?
Okay. Make a quick with advantage medicine check, as this is after the fact of ripping its body apart.
Nice.
Uh-oh.
Medicine with advantage. Do do do. Woohoo!
Damn.
You look at the wrist, you kind of like pull the hair out of the way. It kind of just keeps blocking, so you kind of give it a little quick shave. You notice an injection site roughly about the same size, maybe a slight bit bigger. As you notice that, however, since you're already looking, you notice, like, after you shaved that little bit of the area, you notice there's another one, about 2 inches down, leading up toward his elbow. And then you kind of just keep looking, and there's one that keeps on and on and on, all the way up to its neck. It's had multiple.
Oh no. Do you remember the guards had a injection site on their wrist?
Yes, someone new, some are old.
Uh, come, look here. It has injection sites every 2 inches from its wrist all the way up to its neck. The same size injection site. Most likely done with the same implement.
Fuck. Well, then I probably guess we have to tell the guards then, because they've been injected. Like this thing's been injected, then there's possibly a connection there.
Was was it once a human? Is there any way for us to tell, or was it definitely a beast to begin with?
First off, judging by its blood and your examination of it, its structure isn't anything like a human's. It has curvatures and much denser bone structure in places that humanoids don't usually have. Of course, a giant could have that kind of structure, but you'd need to properly examine a giant to find out for certain. Though, since you have Severus here as a comparison for that kind of in between, you kind of give him a general look over, and Severus is fit more as a humanoid, technically speaking. So you can't say for certain that it's a humanoid, one way or the other. More likely, maybe a giant if it was morphed in some way, moulded.
Okay. I don't think someone is trying to turn the guards into strange, angry monkeys.
Well, no, I never said that, but if there's a connection there at least. What do you guys think? And he'll turn like Goldie, Scrap, and Severus.
I have no idea, to be honest.
Scrap?
And round length.
Twinkle Twinkle? No, just look at Severus.
Is Severus still praying?
No, he finished that. Since he was doing it as you guys started, as you started to like tinker with him, this entire time I assume he would just be doing his own thing. But if you're all mostly just there now after you finish and kind of give a general heave ho, yeah, after he'd finished, it's all good. As a quick out of, for Severus's sake anyway, as you do finish your prayer, you of course are the only one that sees any change. So, you and I are going to a secret area.
Nice.
So as, obviously this is like time warp back a little bit.
Yeah.
As you do finish the prayer, sat in front of him, you kind of lose yourself spiritually for a moment. Your senses don't come out of you or anything, you're still very much there and you're aware that you're there, but you feel a connection to that other realm as the creature's very soul comes looming out of its body. And it's kind of like a genie in the lamp kind of thing. Like there's a trail that leads to the body that you see is smoky and is slowly coming free, loose, little spurts of smoke still connected to the body barely. And as it's released, its form is a wavy blue blur, and as it slowly leaves its body, fading up towards whatever next life it's going to, it's a part of its very being is left behind in that space, floating in front of itself. And you open your eyes for a moment, make a very small open-handed gesture, and that small fragment moves off and glides along your palm and tattoos itself somewhere along your body, if you want to go about that way for the sake of fun.
Yeah.
It will tattoo itself as a representation of its life. It marks itself on your body. So you will have, it will look kind of like just the upper, like, shoulder to top of the head of the Yeti marked somewhere on your body, of your choosing.
Yeah, nice. I like that.
Right.
Nice.
And there is your fun. As that enters your spirit and marks, you open your eyes up again, and there's no longer the spirit around, and if you chose to in that moment, you would see the mark on your body.
I think I would more feel it, like, positioning itself on my body as work, and just kind of accept it and feel a little bit like, yeah, I'm gonna look really super fly for everybody.
Look at this!
Look at this, yeah. It's probably gonna be like on the back of my shoulder. So then I picture this one, like, wants to be quite tall, high up, powerful Yeti. So
It's got to be somewhere near the arms at least.
Yeah, just in case people are like perception checking if there's anything changing as well.
No, yeah.
Nice.
Okay. We will head back.
Nice.
So yeah, then rocks. Oh, hello.
Hi.
So where were we?
Well, Muzzy will be right back, I think.
Okay.
No, I'm here.
Oh, no, you can
Hello.
Well, the rest of
Hello.
you doing them.
I mean, I guess.
We
Gideon
will-
pitch that we go to tell the guards, maybe?
Yeah.
We're gonna be responsible, you know?
We have to make good choices.
Okay. Bit of tavern music for the fun of it.
Paddy is out here now, boys.
Oi, fucking hell, Paddy, what are you doing? Welcome to my bar.
Oh, hold me close, Clover.
Oh, don't touch my clothes. Fucking hell. What kind of establishment do you think this is? You filthy pervert. Oh. Oh. Woo. So as you all start to make your way out, leaving the very destroyed body of that poor fucking Yeti, who was that very close to becoming your friend, but then got electrocuted. It was kind of a shame.
Fuck that dickhead.
Yeah.
The next one will be more successful.
Hopefully so,
We say this every time.
yeah. She leaves dead bodies everywhere she goes. She's a murderer.
You only learn by experimenting.
Experimentations. And mutilation. Yeah.
No,
The hell?
only consensual mutilation.
I don't think
Sam
people
Hill.
will be up for that. But anyway, as you all...
I mean, technically, piercings and tattoos are consensual, consensual ones, but
I know we're not meant to, like, king shame here, bruv, but what the fuck? I've never walked into a tavern and had a lass go, mutilate me, and I just thought, what the fuck?
You're obviously not
Depends on
doing it
the-
right.
I'm in the
depends
wrong
on
tavern
your
as well.
definition of mutilate.
Back home in Gastorden, starting to do that all the time.
That's true.
So as
You
you,
just show like a
Red
scrap. These
place.
are weird people.
as you begin to make your way
Mhm.
out and head toward where you vaguely remember the closest station to be, Goldie, you make your way across the streets, heading from the lower part of town, hearing the little scrapping of kids in the distance, and as they see you all coming, they kind of just like side-eye you each and then go running off. You make your
What kind of
way...
bloody and dirty is everybody looking as well?
s- some of... To be fair, you guys are looking more dirty than anything else. There's no one who really took any damage at all, so... But of course...
Two of them were just rooting around in a dead body.
Well, yeah,
So-
but
I
she's
was wearing
sanitary.
gloves and an apron.
She's just there with
well
like
deep in
blood
it.
smeared on her face. Psychotic look.
My gloves go up to my armpit. They are long gloves.
Yeah. As you make your way, of course, she would have sanitized and cleansed herself. I know that much. There will be a slight waft of death emanating, generally speaking, from you lot.
Not from me, there's not.
Hey, your blade,
Just a
motherfucker!
t-shirt.
You cut him. You cut him. You were involved.
Prestidigitation.
That is fair.
I'm gonna clean myself off.
There is no longer the waft.
And I can do that.
So as you continue on, you eventually, after about 20 minutes of walking through town, you find a guard station. It isn't the one with James, unless you wish to go to that one.
Where's Goldie leading us? She's the...
Well, do you want to go to the closest station, or do you want to see James?
I would like to see James if I can. Check the injection site, see if any unusual symptoms have arisen since we left.
Well, actually, a fair point.
Yeah, let's go to James.
Okay. So you take that a little extra time, another like 15 minutes or so, as you lead a little bit further. You reach that same place near the docks where you met them originally, as well as the strange man and the captain and the bandits. And it is still in roughly Lowtown. As you're walking around, there is that moment where you do kind of see one of the stone-fist bandits just like looking around, but he looks to be like some scrawny kid just wearing the outfit for the most part, as if he's, you know, a pretender almost. And you see a couple of kids that are running along that just kind of look at him and just blow little like bubbles, air bubbles at him, just nah. And they go running by, and he just kind of goes, no, whatever. You get it. As you continue on, going down the street towards where the station was, you see a couple of people being carted off on stretchers toward the backs of wagons. They look to be guards. And as you each start to walk down the street, there's no like cordoned off area or anything, but you see a couple of guards that are like stood in the way in the middle of the road that turn and see you and just kind of hold their hands out. Sorry, we've got kind of a situation. No one's allowed beyond this point.
What's the situation?
Some of our men kind of went down sick. We're not sure if it's a spreaded viral thing or not. So we're
It's
just...
James?
He kind of just squints for a moment. He goes, "How do you know James?"
I gave him some health care earlier. He had an injection site to his wrist. I told him to keep an eye on. We are coming back to see if any more symptoms have arisen.
He kind of just like looks you up and down for a moment, and then he turns around, looks back to a figure that's wearing the same kind of outfit, but has what looks to be these like silver pauldrons on his shoulders and a winged helm, and what looks to be something of a cape almost, like flowing down halfway along his back. He kind of turns around, looks over towards you each, just turns back toward the stretchers and seems to make notice to one of these figures that are dressed in what's essentially just a nurse's outfit, and closes the doors up behind them. You see 3 figures in the back of a wagon. As they are carted away, you see a screen is drawn over each side of the wagon, blocking off any visible access and any aerial escape, presumably. As this fellow with the winged helm walks over, he pulls the helmet off, balded head, starts to walk toward you each. You see one eye has this kind of cat-like slit that has what looks to be like as if his eye were made of glass. There's a shattering around the iris, but as he looks, the eye moves naturally as he looks amongst you each. This is Cat, and then just as he's about to say the name, he holds up a hand and goes, "I couldn't help but overhear you knew James, and you'd seen the infection site."
Yes, Unfortunately, we have reason to believe it is some sort of experiment. We recently fought a creature who had the same injection site on its body. It was heavily, well, mutilated by someone with magical ability and engineering knowledge.
Where was this exactly?
That way. I just point in the direction that I think we came from.
He just kind of gives you a glance and looks over toward the others for any context.
Yeah, can we explain where the fuck we were?
Yeah.
The shuttle rundown area.
And it truly doesn't matter. Never mind. So, is the creature still there? I'm assuming you don't just have it in pieces on your person.
It is still there. All of the pieces are there. Not necessarily still in the creature. There was some investigation.
Turns to the soldier to his left. When things are cleared up properly here, would you mind bringing me a small retinue? I wish to go inspect. And the guard just gives a nod and salutes. Now then, if you would all be so kind, I've got to go to attend to the men that were infected, but you, points to you, Lilith. I was about to call you Lycoris, like some of the elf names.
Oopsie.
You, I wish to ask you a couple of questions. I got maybe shy of a moment's look at it, but maybe you can correlate with me between the creature and James. He was carted about an hour ago away. I just want to make sure that whatever strange alterations happened to the creature are not so easily done through injection to my men.
I cannot give you information about the adjustments made. You would need to ask Gideon. They are mechanical in nature, but there is some biological aspects to them. Someone who did it had knowledge of both.
He kind of looks amongst all of you.
Gideon, when she says Gideon does like a little wave where he doesn't say anything, just the hands kind of raised at his chest. Hello. That's me.
Well then, if I could... First off, when you are free, escort me to this creature. I wish to inspect it, and more than likely bring it back. Also, I am not quite sure why, but I feel it's rather auspicious I meet a group such as yourselves today. Might you all tell me what brings you to this portion of Janasta? This isn't an inquisition, by the way. You can feel free to tell me nothing. I'm just curious.
I am undertaking medical research, and if you would like, you may offer a blood sample to assist me in my research, but it is not compulsory.
Gotta shoot your shot when you can.
A unique prospect. Depending on how our futures collide, I might do that for you.
Interesting.
He does this like small nod, and you two get this weird moment where you kind of just look at each other, where it's like, this is definitely an all business kind of person. And you just think to yourself, he could be a good
Perfect.
source.
They fucking. Just scrap. They fucking.
Science is my only love.
No, if it's
No,
not,
that'd go very far in mechanics. I'm not gonna lie.
if it's not too much to ask, would you join me in that searching and taking that creature now? I only require one of you, truly, to be my guide.
Well, I mean, to be fair, we don't really have a lot going on. We're kind of like a blue man group right now, so.
He kind of raises an eyebrow.
Yeah, Mechanist joke, wouldn't understand.
You come from Mechanus.
Mm-hmm. What? Give it away. Oh wait, yeah. He pops up the helmet because currently he's still in like full armor.
Well, personally, it was more the fact you just told me, but that certainly is a part of it, and the Warforged, of course. He raises an eyebrow.
Gideon just starts thinking to himself, here comes Karen Scrap. Let's go.
Excuse me, I was refurbishing a home.
Excuse me, I had the correct permit.
Councilman Jefferson will hear about this.
There is no Councilman Jefferson.
Fuck, he knows.
Yet.
Yeah. Wait, we don't see those guards, right?
No, not as of the moment.
Okay, good.
They could work at the other one, they could work here, you don't know for certain.
Mm-hmm. Every time I walk past them, I want to do like the eye thing. How do
Yeah.
you do that?
The glare.
Yeah.
He pulls the wig out whenever he goes past them.
Like this.
Yep. Just, I'm watching you, motherfucker. Okay. Well then, if that is the case, it is a desirable outcome. If you would all... And then he makes a follow me kind of motion. Starts to walk off toward the end of the street. The guard slowly following beside, then divots off to head inside the guardhouse. As you begin following him, one of the other guards that are currently stopping the other side of the street turn and look, and as you all, with this captain figure, come wandering along, he holds up a hand, and you see a small spattering of people, about 6 or 7 assorted races that are stood there kind of just asking the same kind of curious questions. He just holds up a hand and goes, I'm afraid at this time I cannot give you the full story as I do not have it, though I am on my way with, and then motions generally toward each of you, hopefully interested and helpful parties to find out the what or the why. I will tell you more as I learn it. Please be patient. The guardhouse will function as per normal, come the hour. And then people will kind of look at him with that sort of, we still have questions, but he just holds up hands. I will answer when I know, I promise you this. And then he makes a gentle kind of scatter motion and starts to move between them. And as you guys kind of follow, he takes a left, and you see this quite large, wide carriage with 2 attendants that are sat there waiting. There are 4 horses attached. There are what look to be like these slightly garish bit OTT curtains with golden silver linings on the inside. As he steps toward the carriage, one of the attendants come off, open up the door for him. He makes a small nod motion toward them, steps inside, looks kind of amongst you all, and looks at Savras for a moment. I'm afraid you will probably have to sit either on the roof or with the attendants. You are a little too big.
Savras will just... The attendants are on the back or the
They're on the front.
At the front, yeah. He'll just go around to the front and just do the motion for them to move over, and then he will sit down at the front.
Okay. There is, strangely enough, room for you, with a tiny little bit extra of leg room. Just a smidge. as everybody else gets into the back of the cart.
Yeah, I could get used to this.
Inside, it is lush, gentle pillows. There is a small, what looks to be circular table in the middle that is imprinted into the carriage itself. As it starts to move, the table only moves as the carriage itself shakes one side or another, otherwise it stays perfectly stable. His seats are these leather. They look recently cleaned to an extent. There is this gentle smell of orange, and it's not tough on the nose either. It's very soft and it's easily smelled, but it's not offensive. And he places his helm down on the seat to his side. In total, there are 9 seats available, inclusive of the one he's currently using, as you all kind of find purchase. For the sake of a bit of context, there's, in a normal carriage, there'd be 3 to the left and 3 to the right as you move inside, but there's another 3 that's just behind that has its own separate door to access. But there is open space between them all, so that you can easily talk amongst each other, though the ones at the far back and the ones in front of them are literally looking at each other's heads, or the back rows are looking at the heads of the ones in front. But it seems that's used mostly for peculiar occasions like this, where you'd have excess people. At the back, there are pull down table trays on the backs of the chairs of the people in front of you, and on the ones that are in the middle with this captain, you have, of course, the table there. There are also options to have your chairs lift up a little bit so you can rest your feet. There are also...
Let's go.
Oh yeah, as a lad. There are also what look to be glasses in a glass cabinet behind the captain, and a single bottle of something that very well distilled. He doesn't entertain the idea for this though. As he looks over you each, he gets the, of course, general information, knocks very lightly on the wooden portion of the wagon, and notes to them where you guys left off, giving specific coordinates almost to roughly what he believes you had left. Almost as if he'd picked your brain and took that memory and placed it in his own words. And as the cart begins moving, it's a very smooth ride, though it does pick up just a little bit. As he's sat there with you each, fully straightened on his person now that he's properly rested, he starts to undo the buckles attaching the pauldrons to the cape and vice versa. Takes them off, places them down very gently on his lap. You see as well as he starts unbuttoning the weird jacket that seems to be some sort of hide armor. You see underneath he has 2 daggers held very lightly by bands along the dagger by each portion of his chest, one left and one right. There's also a short sword that hangs very gently along his hip, which seems to have this house symbol on the hilt that appears to be some kind of bird. You, with a quick glance, seem to think it's maybe an eagle, maybe a raven. It's a weird blend between the two. Does anyone say anything while you're having the journey?
I think I'd just be enjoying the recliner, to be honest with you, fella. Fucking the sides, but fuck it, I don't really fight, so it's pretty comfy.
I'm interrogating him about the symptoms.
Okay, what do you ask?
Just all the usual, how long ago did it start? What were the main symptoms, and then what did it develop into? Why do you think it was viral?
Well, the injections were recent. Within the last at least 3 weeks to a month, men started to complain about an irritation the skin, always to the right hand. When we went to inspect, there was no such injection site originally, but as of late, all amongst the people in Dignity, there have been men that have mentioned that they have a new strange point in their flesh that they do not recall. As of the last week, I assigned myself to finding out what was happening. Nobody had, as of today, complained or shown a sign of any physical abnormalities or viruses or poisons of any broad design. As I came to this particular branch in haste, upon hearing from the captain of their branch, I'd found 3 men, James being one of which, to have very gaunt skin, a strange rash along that same arm where the injection was found, and slight blotchiness to the skin, almost to a bubbling effect. Each had very small... They were more spots, but they were clear, see-through, for the most part. So bubble makes a rather unorthodox mode of sense. I believe viral, mostly because I've heard of a similar development back in my youth. For the sake of a context, I'm 60 years old, I am a human, and I was 20 at the time, maybe 30. There was an instance where a young man had a piercing of sorts. I assumed at the time it was vampiric, but later came to find similar circumstances. After a week, roughly, he had blotching of the skin, irritation, generally similar afflictions. But he very quickly got over it with a simple administration of anesthesia and a week's rest, though he retained irritants to the skin in the pierced areas. So I'm assuming if it is the same problem, someone has sped up the progress. The other problem with that fellow, of course, is that he spread it to other people in the hospital, almost as if it had a delayed effect, as his own men and myself were in close proximity with him at the time. But either way, it seems whatever this is, it has been adjusted, and that leaves me with a few questions. Firstly, is it the same person? And secondly, why now?
So this happened over 40 years ago.
At least to my recollection, yes.
So the timeline has been significantly sped up.
Seemingly, yes. So either someone is getting very desperate, or they have spent that time wisely.
I'm just gonna start taking notes in my book and cross-referencing any other stuff that I've previously heard about similar, like, infectious diseases.
As he kind of looks over you each as well, he does take a glance at you, Goldie. One that's got that kind of piercing, I feel like I know you kind of stares.
Does he?
He looks, and he does stare for a moment, but he doesn't seem to react one way or another. You can make an insight check to determine if you want.
Sure, I'll make an insight check on that. Insight. There it is.
Not a clue. This guy's fucking weird.
Yeah.
And he's
I'll probably
staying.
just turn around and be like, are you
fucking
staring at
looking at
me?
me?
You remind me of somebody, but I can't place precisely whom. I apologize. I'm probably mistaking you. Then
For who exactly?
make a persuasion check.
Okay, persuasion. Also not my fault. Oh!
Nice.
Okay.
You remind me. It's more of a collective. There was a duo from maybe about a couple of years, a handful maybe, that I had heard had run amok in amongst Slowtown. They were, at the time, to my knowledge, mercenaries. A young-ish man and a youngish woman. They ran around with their little guns and threatened, bribed, killed from a time to a time for the right amount of coin. And your image just reminded me similar to a wanted poster, though the age in your face doesn't quite match up exactly.
Are you calling me old? That's a little rude.
No, I'm saying that you look younger than what I expected, if I am to put two and two. But, evidently in this case, I believe to have gotten the wrong person.
I guess so.
So,
I'm just trying so hard. Like, Gordy's like not giving him eye contact at all at this point.
as he looks among the rest of you, you hear the cart just kind of rock and shake for a second, and you hear, "Sorry, boss." And he goes, As you kind of look out the window for a moment, you see you've entered Lowtown, and you, for those of you that even entertain the idea, you see that there is this broken cobble pathway that the cart just kind of stumbled on a little bit. And as you continue on, he just kind of looks over each of you. Does anyone have anything to ask or say?
What you looking at? It's kind of weird, you know. Well, it's kind of weird to just stare at people. What do you want?
Do you actually ask?
Yeah, that's literally what he's saying to him.
Okay. I am an observer, and I do apologize. It comes as part of the job, and over years you learn to be very insightful, and so you try to learn what you can with a glance. Each of you have a little story, and I will admit I have curiosity, but I do not wish to pry, as you are doing me a favour. Though I've a question in return for you each. Though obviously I wear the garb, you say you don't have much going on. You followed what's essentially a stranger on a whim to pick up the body of an entity. Is that normality for you?
He's kind of doing that, the whole sort of shaking of hands and looking at everybody else like, is this fucking normal for us? Is this gonna be the norm?
I've not done this before.
Inside check.
Do it.
Oh fuck it, I'll do it if you want to roll
Fucking
this up.
do it.
What inside check against me?
Ooh.
If you do want to hide anything, send through GM a deception check.
Oh my god. Okay. Bloody hell.
This is just to
I click it on the sheet, don't I? To GM.
yeah.
Yeah.
Is
So yeah, she's done this before. Not on. You figure not on this side though.
Ooh. Ooh, okay.
Uh,
Hmm.
I'm not
Okay.
I'm not listening. I'm flicking through my book, looking at all of my examples of infectious diseasing, and occasionally I just poke my head out and ask Savras, "Was this one you?" I'm just gonna keep going through all the list of them, and be like, "Oh wait, that was you as well. Doesn't matter."
Did you kill this
I've not-
lad?
was this your disease or was that the other disease? Which one did I heal last weekend after your time with the orc? I don't remember anymore. There's been so many.
Just going through it all. What is it? The fucking What did that half-orc give you? Super AIDS. That's it.
Space AIDS. Ah, yes.
Yes,
Luckily for you, I can heal them all with restoration.
yes. Even space AIDS. God damn.
Even space.
It's
Only
magic.
if
You know
he
what
gets
space is.
It's magic.
only if he gets a magical disease can I not heal it yet.
Ah.
So no fucking people with magic STIs.
So
Or
yeah,
if
that
you do
can't
wear
fuck with me.
protection.
So, as you're having a lovely conversation,
I'm learning new things about the person I'm to be in a party with.
you all hear as the cart slows down and comes to a stop. The captain just looks toward the door, gently pushes it open slightly, makes his way out, looks, and as you guys look out as the door opens, you see the exact same row of houses that you had come from previous. And as he looks around, he waits for you to each depart and waits for you to motion which home. And as you kind of lead him on, the two attendants stay. Savras, if you want to stay like a puppy as well, you are welcome. As everyone starts to slowly skirt off, as you make your way inside the house, pushing the door open, the smell wafts a little bit. And you see the captain in front of you kind of just like ruffles his nose a little bit, blinks, shakes his head a little, moves his way inside and walks up toward the second floor. And he, fully outfitted again by this point, by the way, as he looks over the body, he looks up and down for a second and then turns back to you each. It appears that you took a few victory trophies. While I don't mind this, for the sake of my investigation, would you mind returning them to me once I bring this back? You may have them once we figure out the full picture.
The only thing I
I'm pretty sure we didn't take any.
Oh, you didn't? Oh, okay, fair enough.
Oh no, did I? Did I? What did I take?
Because there was
Jeez.
there was pieces of the core, there was the heart.
Oh yeah. The stuff I wanted to check over. I was like, okay. I'm gonna reach us into the back pocket.
Mhm.
Okay.
but you must agree to let us study it afterwards. We are going to look at the mechanical and biological use of it. It's very important research. We need it back.
He kind of
Yeah, Hans.
raises an eyebrow.
Please.
You are going to be joining the team that will be identifying it.
A team will only slow us down.
You are not as clever as me, mortal.
He
You are in
smiles.
my way.
He smiles a little bit, and then just stares at you for a moment. If I tell you exactly what this creature was, will you change your mind?
Probably not. Not gonna lie.
It's not so much the working with people I have an issue with, it's the people aspect of working with people.
That's a vibe.
People don't like
Mhm.
people don't like the eyes and the teeth. And oh look, the vampire's holding blood. She must be trying to
He-
drink it.
While she's talking, just all the D&D gods are like, true,
True
true,
girl, true girl.
true.
As you say
Rage.
vampire, he kind of just looks you up and down, and you see that he gets it, but he doesn't make anything more of it than that. Hmm. Well, while you may have something of a point, I'm afraid that, as this is currently within my jurisdiction, I will have to pull a degree of rank on that regard. And now I'm not going to say I don't appreciate your efforts. I may have to pull out the "you're under arrest" card. All I ask is either you hand the items temporarily, so we may inspect them, or you assist in the inspection. You may stay within the guardhouse, or have small funding for the meantime while we investigate. But I will be taking it. It is a necessity to find out what or where or why this thing is.
As I do not have to sleep, do I get permission to be within the research laboratory at all hours?
You may.
Then I agree.
Assuming you are as skilled as... And then you see he turns around, makes a motion toward the pretty fucking messed up fuck pile of just like bones and bits that have been buried out. But at least it's clean in the general area. You, as long as you are as skilled as I believe this mess is, you will be an asset nonetheless. And with if looks at you, Gideon, I am to believe this was created by you. Looks at the armor, and she has truth in her word to vouch for you. You may also stay at all hours. However, you will hopefully take into account that you will not leave the building with any items not of your own person. You will leave all weapons at the door, and you will be monitored in and out of the building. Until such time, we no longer require your services.
Does that include my armor, by any chance?
You may retain it. However, I'm assuming... He kind of just looks it over a little bit. That you can at least tone it down a little bit. It might make everybody a little wary if you're walking around with a body full of armor, while they can barely hold their hide.
I may have a more toned down version I could use, yeah, sure.
Good. Then do we have an accord? Because this body is absolutely disgusting.
It's been worse.
So have I, honestly, but the smell never gets old.
Gideon's kind of gonna look at the other three people and be like, well, what are you three doing? You're gonna help us investigate it? I mean, hell, Goldie, you're a local, so you must know the general area, and...
Yeah, I could help. I'm pretty good at like tracking things down.
Savras can be very useful. He is tall and shiny.
Scrap's my boy. Wherever I go, Scrap goes. And vice versa.
Exactly.
Well, if it helps, I do have a job for the three of you as well anyway. At the very least, while you two are aiding me in figuring out the why, I would like the three of you to find some clue as to the whom. Preferably starting here in Lowtown near the docks.
Oh shit. Is the fox lady still with us?
You have...
We literally spent an hour and a half while she was shitting herself downstairs dissecting this thing, and then we just fucked off. So God knows where she is.
I'm assuming she was just following us as a
Yep.
fox. That's what she was doing before.
Yep.
Can I just lift her up and put her on Savras? Because I feel like she'll be out of trouble if she's on his shoulder.
She is currently in your pack.
Oh,
She's
get out! Get out! You're sitting on my tools.
I'm gonna pick her up and just gonna like lie her over Savras's shoulders like a scarf.
And then I say, Stavras, see, very cute fox. Bring in all the ladies. Women love a puppy. It's the closest thing you can get to a puppy.
You hear in your head, I'm a fox? I'm not a puppy.
No,
What's a
no,
puppy?
no. Shh. A puppy is a baby dog. They're very cute.
What's a dog?
A small furry mammal that has been domesticated from a wolf in the past however many centuries, and we currently use it to play games or occasionally guard households.
Is she
But
okay?
women love a puppy.
It's a must.
Hmm.
I'm talking to my god.
He gives you the blankest stare.
Did you say you're talking to your god? So he's just going to point at himself questioningly.
I mean,
Like me?
I mean my companion. My companion friend. Sorry,
Out of our investigation process.
Hmm.
yeah, it helps me with my brainstorming.
Mm.
He like, wait, it's this funny friendship thing. He likes to say he is God, and I join in. It's funny. I'm gonna look at my book again.
She's like, haha, funny thing.
Savage just looks stupefied by everything.
You're also wearing a fox as a scarf.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I'm down with that.
But yeah, so.
She still has
dig it.
the gem in her mouth, by the way. That's still... It isn't glowing at the moment, but it does have multiple colours along the shards representing each of you. A unique ensemble. He turns around, kind of like grabs one of the legs, looks to you, Savras. Come on then, big man. We have a journey ahead of us. Starts to pull one of the legs, and you start to hear the body go.
Just be careful. Don't let the brain impact the floor too much. I can't do it if it's in pieces.
Please don't hurt the machinery. I really worked hard getting that out.
Yeah.
Oh, be
See-
careful.
Seeing Lilith kind of like dance and panic around the head, I'm gonna go and kind of lift it up by whatever remains of its shoulders, so that the head's off the floor and definitely not gonna hit anything.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Thank God.
So with
That's
a
just this
general,
guy.
a bunch of people lifting it at once, you notice the creature itself is literally a large creature, but the form has not as much mass now anyway. And it is one of those moments where it's like you've got three people on the stairs trying to shift the sofa, and it's slightly awkward trying to get in tandem, and you're kind of like shifting it a little bit. Someone's always like, go a little left, and they're going right, and it kind of works for a second, and then you both go left, and it kind of tosses it into the wall, and it's like, oh, no, the other left, and it's just you guys trying to get in tandem, bring it down the stairs for a moment.
Pivot.
Pivot!
This is where we need Paul and Barry.
If there's any like pieces left behind, I'll just pick up all the pieces and bring them down.
Okay. So, little like doggy bag the pieces, yay! As you bring it down, as you bring the body outside, the attendants see it and immediately just like turn their heads up a little bit as if to say, "Oh no, please don't come over here." No. And with help, you all kind of like heave ho it onto the roof, and you just hear like a poof, and you see the wagon kind of like bow for a second, and the attendants look back, and you guys kind of catch them saying, "Oh, what now?" And as you each return inside, he pulls out a small glass, grabs some water, pours it in, gently rinses his hands off with the blood, puts it onto the table in the middle for each of you to choose to do the same if you so chose. And the wagon continues back to where you were. More specifically, as it starts, as you all get inside, he looks towards you each and goes, "So, if it would behoove each of you, I would have you under contract temporarily. The two of you," looks at Gideon and Lilith, "I would have you join my research team, and the others, I would have you partake in finding evidence in this area as to whom it is. Did any of you say that Goldie saw him?"
I
I
said.
don't
Not
think I
to
did.
this guy.
Oh,
I don't
not to
think I
him,
did.
no.
Okay. I would have the rest of you search for the perpetrator or perpetrators. Find where they come from, find someone we can shake loose from the rotten apple tree. Get me some clues. If you can find me something substantial, I will pay you in kind. As for you two, I will allow you to join this autopsy and investigation of the body to hopefully aid my men in a treatment, assuming that one is required. Any other assistance you may pass on to me before the end of the established time to find said cure, or them finding the perpetrators, I will pay you in kind for any contributions you may give me. If you three would like to continue and start the investigation now, I would ask you leave and find whatever it is you can. Otherwise, you may feel free, each and every one of you, to begin at your own pace. Though, of course, I will require from the two of you any missing pieces of the creature for analysis.
But we will be doing the analysis, yes.
Of course.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think he doesn't want us to take them off site, you know what I mean?
If you have
I
anything,
don't have to leave the room anyway, so it makes no difference to me.
in the event there were other situations you needed resolving first. But if there is nothing that comes to mind, then that is fine. Though I ask of you to keep your heritage quiet in common folks' presence. It would not strike them so naturally as it would me.
I'll
Ooh,
try my best
don't know
not to smile.
That can be looked the other way, but the other parts are the worry.
My eyes?
No, I meant your penchant for, I'm assuming, intaking of blood, and the general nonchalant attitude about mentioning your heritage.
I don't see why it's such a big deal, but okay.
Honestly, I do
And
not
I'll
either.
have you know, I only drink consensual blood. I have my own stockpile, which I consume in private.
Believe
Even
me,
have my
Get some
own.
wine at the bar.
I
that's
even
fine.
have my own glass to drink it out of, so I don't drink it out of a vial like a savage.
believe me, were this the kind of age that our king would desire, you would be rightly free to do as you will within the kingdom, but the common people are not ready for the sun-walking kind.
Tell you what, leave a bottle of wine, and all they need to know is I'm drinking something red.
Hmm.
Doesn't even have to be good stuff.
He
Give me the cheap shit.
give me
before
cheap
I-
shit. Turns around, pulls the glass cabinet open. He knocks once with a kind of thud on the back wall of the wooden slat, and you see something fall down, a portion of the wooden part fall down, and he pulls out a bottle of what looks to be a wine with a golden seal tying it. He pinches it off with his teeth and places the bottle gently on the table with his hand still resting on it, just to make sure that it doesn't slip anywhere. Tell you what, I will give you this as an upfront payment. It is worth about, in its prime, it will be worth about 1,000 gold. You
1,000
can
gold?
take it with you and drink it with your friends, or for all I care, you can empty it in the sewers. Just allow me this one notch in the belt. Just don't let anyone know of your nature.
Okay.
Thank you.
Davras, make sure nobody notices me. Be extra shiny. Oh no, Davras won't be here. This is awful.
Mm. So he looks amongst each of you. Besides Gideon and Lilith, are the three of you now choosing to leave the cart and go investigating? Or are you joining them, maybe getting a hotel, some food or something, doing a little bit of exploring, maybe find some other trouble? What would you like to do? You can choose to go back later and investigate some more, of course. That's on the table. But we're deciding right now what you want to do.
It's up to you two, since I don't need to eat.
Fair.
That is a good. I mean, I don't mind like looking around first, and maybe like convening with the others. I guess. I mean, we get in Lilith before we go.
You all have a stage.
You wanna do what?
I mean, I'm down for like doing the investigation later,
Hmm.
and maybe grabbing something to eat and stuff first, and having like a little meeting with the others before we kind of run off.
Hmm.
At least then you know where to come back to.
If it helps, at least as well. For starters, obviously, Goldie knows a degree of where she's going. You guys could always hire a carriage to take you somewhere temporarily. You could try buy one if you have enough gold. You, for the sake of Lilith and Gideon anyway, you two would know to an extent if anything that's worth its weight in salt to examine this creature will take at least half a day to get ready, not including the stuff you have.
Okay.
So they could quite happily come with you and do other bits in the meantime. You guys could wander off and do whatever in the meantime. But, you know, that's assuming you aren't given the slap on the wrist arrest band if you don't get the stuff. But anyway, whatever. So if you all wanted to go, that would be, yeah, perfectly plausible right now.
I feel like Gideon would just want to get straight into sorting this shit out.
I'm
Just 'cause
already
of who he is.
checking through my notes, looking for other stuff to keep an eye out for.
Well, I don't mind doing the investigation now.
So now,
Yeah, we can do it now.
I mean, we might as well if you're already here. Yeah, sure, sounds good.
Okay. So, as they split the party, as they say, first and foremost, because I know RD and Mosey will be dying inside, we will end session.
Thank you.
Don't worry, I can feel the energy draining out of you, and I'm feeding off of it, so I should stop. So, I'll end with, as you three jump out, ready for the open, technically seas, because you are next to the docks. You look out with Goldie to be your guide. You two with your wits and whiles. Well, mostly Mosey, let's be honest. You look out, start to think to yourselves where to go first. You obviously confer with Gideon and Lilith before you actually leave about where to start. For the sake of that, you can all feel free to talk amongst yourselves for the next game. If there's any like major breakthroughs or anything, and you guys all talk about it together, and I'm supposed to know it, and you don't tell me, that's your fault. I know nothing. Fuck all of you. Tell me, bitches. Otherwise, you have your plans as you take to the open sea road, and those two head back to the guard post.
Ooh. Bye.
As you're like waving out the windows, enjoying your kick-up seats and your fine wine, and
I'm there reclining.
We're just left in the street.
it's like the best sleep he's ever had.
I go back to incessantly asking as many questions as humanely possible to this poor guard captain.
And he sort of does his best to answer with what little he even knows. But yeah, if anyone has any inspiration questions or general questions that doesn't require it, or feel free now, or forever hold your peace.
Nah, I used my inspiration. I'm keeping hold of my normal one.
Oh, wait.
I
used my
have-
free one.
I have my normal one to keep for next time in case big science decisions need to be made.
Exactly.
Decisions.
A very fair sentence.
Did we catch the captain's name?
Nope.
I don't think. I'm pretty sure none of us asked. I'm gonna be
Nope.
honest with you.
You have
I'm not-
the cat.
I'm not the polite one.
Yeah, I was
I
gonna say
didn't really
we're,
want to
we're
talk
like
to him, to be
the
honest.
science obsessed one. We don't give a shit about
You're-
people, bro.
You're leading with the two people with zero social skills.
I fucking did. Okay, I'll give you.
I literally have. I've got a -1 to charisma. I have no social skills at all.
Oh,
Okay, I'm not that bad. I have a 0.
I am charismatic in comparison.
Yeah, that's because you're trying to pipe everything.
That's why I need him to exist, because otherwise people would just probably have beaten the shit out of me by now for being very rude.
Weird.
Weird and rude.
Right. What we all thinking of doing now? I'm fancying maybe a game of League or soon.
I have to fucking disappear because I have work in the morning and I hate life.
Yeah.
Yep.
I need to decide.
Same.
Right,
Yeah.
I'll leave you lot to it then.
Good night.
Okay. Good game. Goodbye.